Hi, I'm James Keatley and welcome to the explanations for the Black Ops watch. Before we get started, I'd like to thank you very much for purchasing the products and supporting the Magic. As a Magic creator, it's one of my most favourite things to actually see people using the Magic that I come up with. Bit of history on the project. Came up with it about 8 years ago. It was experimenting with black art and trying to find different ways that I could actually use black art in a real world environment under the nose of a spectator. And this was the result of that. The Black Ops watch. Just a little story here. Coming today into the studio and Dwayne behind the camera actually thought that it was a real smartwatch. So it's designed to blend in and that's what it does. So let's move on now and have a look what's in the box. Right, so let's have a look what we've got. In the box we have our Black Ops watch, and you will also have received a spare pirate coin, so you can show coin both sides if you want to switch a coin in and out, and also a spare black acrylic disc. The spare disc can be applied to another pirate coin, or as you can see here, I've also applied it to an English penny, being as I live in the UK. So we're going to move on now, show you how to set this all up and how to use it. So I'm more of a creator than a magician. So later on in this video, you're actually going to get some tuition and some ideas from Eric Jones, who's come over from the States to show you how to use this. But for now, I'm just going to go over the basic operation and what the actual effect is that can be achieved. So we have our pirate coin with our disc on the back, and you can see that the watch looks normal with another disc on the inside. In essence, the disc and the coin is just going to slide into the watch and be pressed down to make it vanish. The way that will work is that you'll pretend to take the coin, to hold in this hand, and then in gesturing to actually get someone to hold the wrist, you'll be placing the coin into the watch, making it vanish, like so. So to retrieve or remove the coin from the watch, very simple. You're just going to apply some pressure on two sides of the watch to make the edge pop up, and then it can be lifted out, ready for reuse. The way it works is very simple. The rubber has a slight elasticity and is slightly smaller than the coin, so it actually grips the coin without the use of any magnets once you push it in and secure it into the watch. So again, just press the corners of the watch, releases the coin, so you can go again. So you can see once the coin is in the watch, it vanishes completely and looks like a normal smartwatch. The reason I love this trick so much is it's silent, and once the coin's in there, there's no reason to actually go to the pockets or move hands. You can do it with sleeves rolled up. A very clean and simple vanish. Okay, so a bit of history on the watch. I came up with the initial idea around 8 years ago, and it was one of those ideas at the time, made a very simple, crude prototype, and the idea sat on the shelf for a good few years. That was until I had a meetup with Jared Manley, big shout out to Jared, who instantly come up with the idea of 3D printing the watch face, thus doing away with the idea of magnets and using the coin itself to grip into the watch. And that was a huge development in actually stepping this trick forward. Through a few prototypes later, using various watch faces, issues with alignment, it really dawned on me that the simplest way to make this work was to actually use what was going on at the moment in society, smartwatches. So the smartwatch and doing away with any form of dial was a really easy way to sort of make this deceptive. So at the time I submitted this to Illusionist, they had already had another submission by a magician called Georgie Brett. So I want to give a big shout out to Georgie Brett. He'd come up with a similar idea using the same method with a watch with a dial on. The development and the change in actually getting this to production was really changing to a black art sort of finish, and also doing away with magnets, so there was no alignment issues or problems with the watch. So just a bit of further credits on the watch. Brian Platt actually had a trick released some years ago called Blackout, which was a coin with black art on the reverse. I believe that coin was used to be vanished on tables and on clothing. So very similar, although the finish on this watch won't allow you to achieve those effects. I'd also like to just mention that the original spark for the watch, the idea that it came from, was from a vanish in Modern Coin Magic, I believe in chapter 4, where the coin is placed underneath the body of the watch. That really just sparked the inspiration to, instead of placing it under the body of the watch, to have the coin go into the actual watch face itself on top. I hope you enjoy this project, and I really hope you enjoy the teaching that Eric's going to give you in the following sections. Again, I love creating magic and seeing it being used by working and by amateur magicians, so thank you again for purchasing the project. And when you see me around at conventions, please come up and show me your version of the Vanish.
So James, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of the Black Ops project. Also, of course, special shout out to Illusionist. This is an amazing utility device that you will use. Now, I'll be honest with you, there's some things in magic where it's a utility device that you'll use every single day. I believe this is going to be more situational. You're not going to use this for every single piece of magic you do, but this is going to become an everyday carry for me. The same way I carry a deck of cards, the same way I carry flash paper, I'll be carrying one of these because it blends into the background and you forget that it's even there until you're ready to use it. As mentioned, the best way to get into this is by using your fingers in a C shape and pushing down on the watch itself so that it then dislodges the coin. What I love about this whole thing is that even when it's empty, it still looks like a regular watch. It doesn't draw any attention. It's all black, matte black. It looks good. It looks like not necessarily a Fitbit, but definitely like a smartwatch. And of course, that's your gimmick. I've got this one made out of a $50. And the easiest thing, let's just talk about how to get this into the watch, on the fly. So you're going to start by holding it in the opposite hand of the hand that you're wearing the watch in, but you don't want to have it too far into the finger palm position. You really want it on the second phalange, the second joint. Some people like holding it at the fingertips. I find it better to hold it right about there. And the idea is that you're going to do a false transfer. Close your hand around it and ask your spectator to hold you by the wrist. As you make this gesture with the coin in finger palm, all you have to do is squeeze, literally squeeze it right into the watch. It pops right in, and then you come away with the hand empty. You gesture, and that causes the coin to vanish. It's the simplest thing. I know James went over it, but I felt it just needed a little bit more discussion, because I think the finger placement is extremely key. Because if you do it too close to the fingers, you might flash it from your audience's point of view. You do it too far back, you don't have enough tactile feel from the fingertips to know exactly where it needs to go. So by holding it right in the middle, it's the best of both worlds. Don't put it in your palm. For this particular version, you really need to have the fingertips feel the edge and then load it into the watch from that position. So I just wanted to say that for the initial bit. But now that we understand that, let's discuss a few other things. What I'd like to do now is show you something that's kind of interesting. I want you to see there's nothing in the hands, nothing under the hands, nothing under the watch, nothing under the bracelet, just a single coin. Watch closely. If I simply rub that coin between the fingers and blow, it completely vanishes. When James first showed me the Black Ops watch, I fell in love with it, but I wanted to come up with at least one way that you can use it without openly placing it into the watch. So I started thinking about other coin magic that I enjoy, and one of my favorite pieces is the Raven. The fact that you're able to show your hands empty front and back, and just by waving or rubbing over the coin, you can cause it to dissolve into nothingness. That's what I wanted to do with the Black Ops watch. So you start off by showing the coin in this exact position, right at the base of the fingers and your basic finger palm position. You can do it from what I consider to be a high finger palm, holding it in that second phalange, but the base for me is a little bit better. You'll understand what I mean in just a moment. From this point, I want to show the hands are empty. So both hands palm up. I even show the back of the hand. There's nothing under the watch, nothing under the bracelet. The sleeves are rolled back. All of that is very important. The first thing that you'll notice is that rather than wearing the watch the traditional way, with the face towards the sky, I like to wear it on the wrist so that if the hand's palm down, the face is towards the floor. That's going to be the most integral part of this particular vanish, because you know where the coin's going to go. You know how it's going to get there. The only thing we really need to discuss is the choreography that allows it to happen. So after you've shown the back of the hand, the front of the hand, I lean forward, and with this hand, the hand with the coin is going to remain stationary, tilted towards the audience just a little bit. But as I lean forward, I make a gesture with the hand holding the watch, which is going to make sense in a moment, because as I turn the hand palm down, what you'll notice is the watch is almost exactly where the coin is, but I'm going to bring the hands together. So I'm able to place the hand here, push this into the watch, and then come back, so that I can then very cleanly, very openly rub where the coin should be, and then very slowly open the fingers to show that there's nothing in the hands, and the coin has completely vanished. I think that's pretty cool. A couple of things to note. The first thing is you want a very smooth, fluid action. You don't want anything clunky. You don't want to push really hard and then come back. You want everything to happen in this kind of an action. So boom, 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 boom. Just like that. I'm not placing it into the watch. I just want to give you the timing that I particularly use. But the truth of the matter is we all have different hand sizes. We have different actions that feel natural to our own body language. So you're going to have to find the timing that works best for you. But the idea that you're trying to communicate to the audience is that you've gestured. You bring the hands together, and with the hands far away from your body, you can cause that coin to vanish right under their nose. So you'll have to find the action that feels the best for you. Oh, I didn't mean to put it in the watch. That's how good this is. It just slides right in. But you want to find the action that feels good for you, and even think about the actions that you want to communicate to the audience. You gesture, you come back, open, and show. Gesture, come back, and show. So that when you actually do it, it feels exactly the same. So one more time, just to go over how to get it in there again. Like I said, I like to hold it in the finger palm position. And the reason I like to hold it in the finger palm position is because if I bend my fingers in just a little bit, it catches this spot. And this creates a bit of a stop, so the coin can't go any further. Then when I reverse it and push up, it helps push that directly into the watch without any trouble at all. So again, finger palm works best for me. If that area feels best for you, do that. Because whatever works for you is the right answer, as with anything in magic. But again, I gesture forward, and on the way back, allow this to come right on top. Squeeze it in, continue forward, and open. Another really cool thing is you have to think about where your spectators are in relation to where you're performing. So for this particular vanish, it's kind of cool if you have people directly in front of you. So this is going to be great for social media. It's going to be excellent for virtual shows because you can control the angle. But if you find yourself in a situation where there are people on the sides, you're not going to be able to do this because they're going to see it go into the watch. How do you solve that? So the best way to do this is turn it from this vertical position into more of a horizontal position so that more people can view the magic all at once. Also, take a step back away from the audience. So if you have a little bit of distance between your audience and their perspective, it gives them more of the same perspective rather than seeing it from different angles, if that makes sense. You can then show the hand empty, place the coin into the watch, and then do that same type of a rub here, and then slowly turn your hand towards the audience and slowly cause it to vanish right at the fingertips. Audio Jungle. So that's a couple of ways to do a vanish that could be done with the sleeves rolled back without actually placing it into the watch directly. Now, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way James came up with it originally. I just wanted to give you at least one option that you could try in order to create some magic for yourself. Because like any good utility move, like I always say, whatever works for you is the right answer. This is limited only to your imagination and your level of creativity. So I'm interested in seeing what you guys come up with. Here's something interesting with a single coin. What I want you to do is watch very closely as I wave over it, and it changes right at the fingertips into a very real $100 bill. So what I wanted to do, not only offer a vanish of a coin, because when you do vanish a coin, people are going to ask where it went. And that actually is a really good situation for you to find yourself in, because making a coin vanish is something that they'll remember. Like if you make an elephant vanish, they're going to remember for an elephant vanishing. But I feel like offering something like an object changing into another object with the sleeves rolled back away from the body, no magnets, no strings or anything like that, right here in front of their face is another really good thing that you can do. So I figured you've got money, change it into better, bigger money. So I've got a $100 bill. And what I did is I just folded into eighths. So I show the bill, fold it in half, then half again, and then half again, so into eighths. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this between the index finger and the middle finger, right at the edge, like so. And I'm going to curl my finger in so that my index finger, my middle finger, and thumb touch, so that the hand looks pretty natural. And what you can do is you can hold the coin at the fingertips in that same hand, and then show the other hand empty, and place it right into the finger palm position. Now, of course, I'm going to get the coin into the Black Ops watch. The way I'm going to do this is by extending the hand, coming forward, placing it into the watch, and then on the way back, I allow the $100 bill to rest on the hand, as just by very gently releasing pressure with the index finger and the middle finger. And then I squeeze the hands together And as I open, the $100 bill will spring open. So it almost feels like it's going from a 2D image to a 3D image, right at the very tips of the fingers in that same place where the coin occupied just a moment before. Now I can show the hands empty. I can open the $100 bill and even give it out for examination if you feel safe doing that. I'm not giving $100 bills to anybody, but I'll show it. But you can if you trust them. So there are so many things that you can do with a Black Ops watch that I wanted to give you a couple of the things that I'm playing with. For instance, hola gato. Thank you, kitty. I could show the hands like this and then take the coin and throw it away. So what I'm doing here, of course, you know where the coin's going to go, but how we get there is interesting. If you're sitting down, what you do is you take the coin with the coin side up, of course. You show the hand empty, and then on the way back, you allow it to go into the watch, and then you come forward as if you're taking the coin. It's almost like if you're doing like the slidini thing where you steal the coin off the table and then cause it to vanish. Same thing here on the knee. And then you can just toss it towards the audience or toss it into the other hand, anything that you want to do. So guys, that's it. That's the Black Ops watch. Both me, James Keatley, and Illusionist, thank you for purchasing this product. This is a really cool toy. You know, I love toys. If you know anything about me, you know I love toys. I love playing with things. Anything that allows you to be creative, allows you to get those juices flowing is a great thing for both you and for your magic. So this is another really cool toy that I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, you can go to the forums on Illusionist. We'll be there to answer them. Thank you again for joining. This was Black Ops Watch.
I'm on a shoot in London and Team E just asked me if I could quickly pop by and share with you some ideas relating to loading something into somebody's pocket. Now, I know what you're thinking, why is there a mentalist sat here trying to tell me how to do magic? Well, I actually consult for a lot of magicians, and these are the types of ideas that I share whenever I'm working with magicians or mentalists, because sometimes we have to load predictions onto people or playing cards, and this is no different. And I want to state right out of the gate that I nor Illusionist accept any responsibility for your actions. If you're caught in the process of touching somebody's pocket or going near it, I don't want the responsibility of that. I know Illusionists don't want the responsibility of that. The reason that we're sharing these techniques is because you've asked and we're answering. So I'm going to share with you two techniques. One of them is a simple put pocket technique. And if you don't know what put pocketing is, it's the exact opposite of pickpocketing. To put or to pick. Put pocketing is loading something in somebody's pocket. And the second one is how to do it signed. So a signed variant on put pocketing. And the signed one's actually much easier and more impressive than standard put pocketing. And so whenever I'm trying to load something into somebody's pocket, the first thing that I'm looking for is a good target. What do I mean by a good target? Well, somebody's got to have open pockets for a start. If somebody's got closed pockets or a closed, you don't want to be going near that. What you want to be looking for is the times that somebody's got a nice open pocket or something that you can get into. And I will talk about how to get it into a sealed pocket at the end as a little bonus idea, but really what you want is an open pocket. And the way you do it is one ahead. And so if you don't know what a one ahead is, essentially you're going to be performing another routine whilst creating a method that exists in a routine that comes after. So let's say you're doing a card trick. Now I know this is not related to the Black Ops watch, but this is the best way to put pocket. If you're doing a piece of card magic, let's say you're having one spectator pick a card and somebody else is going to find it, or whatever kind of card routine, it doesn't matter. It could be one of your other tricks that you bought from wherever else. It really doesn't matter. You move the spectator that you don't want to put the coin into their pocket. You move them first. So you've got a regular pirate coin and you move that spectator and stand them on the left. Now the reason you're doing that is to get people accustomed to you moving people around. You go, if you just stand there for me, and what I want you to do, and now you've got the coin in finger palm like this. So you're holding the coin in finger palm. And if you just step back, just come and then take this person's arm, lean forward, slightly pull them and go, yep, move forward a bit. And as you do that, you just tap the side of their pocket as you're dropping and depositing the coin straight into the pocket. It's that simple. Because the spectators think that you're moving one of them and you're very open, now you've got the coin in finger palm and you're moving the second person, they're never going to think for a second. They're never going to think for a second that you're putting something on them because it's not related to this routine. So you perform the card trick. The card trick's an astounding success. And then after you've performed the card trick, you can now move into your Black Ops watch. You can make it disappear and you can make it reappear in the person's pocket. You want to put a slight time delay between that time and the time that it appears in the pocket, because the longer there is between the two performances, so you might do a trick in between, the better the reaction will be. It's really that simple. There's nothing to really overthink. I don't need to do a video of me showing you how to put it into somebody's pocket. You could do this into somebody's top pocket. If you've read Modern Coin Magic by J.B. Bobo, you know, there's a beautiful technique in there where he shows you how you, if it's a top pocket, how you can hold it and just say, step back for me, and it drops straight down. Nice and easy. There's a lot of sources out there. So now let's discuss how to do this with a signed coin. Now this is actually easier and is much more powerful than doing this with a regular coin. And so what you need for this is 2 Sharpie pens. I'd recommend taking the label off of one of them, or buy a pen that looks like a Sharpie that's not a Sharpie. And you need your pirate coin, a regular pirate coin. You need your Black Ops pirate coin, and the Black Ops pirate coin is of course the thing that goes into the watch, and I'm not wearing the Black Ops watch, but a thing that goes into the watch that has the Black Ops black thing to make it look like the top of the watch, the smartwatch. What you're going to do is really simple. You're going to take out the 2 coins. You're going to have the 2 coins in a place that you can access them really easily, and the 2 pens you're going to have in a place that's also easily accessible, and then you're ready to perform. So you talk to your spectator, and in this routine you don't need to worry about being one ahead. You can just move straight into this because there is a really nice logical motivation for this, and there's a moment that hides the move, which is mind-blowing because it makes it even more impossible. You're going to ask the spectator to take the coin and you're going to ask them to sign it. So now when you do this, you hand them the regular coin. So you show your hand empty and you hand them the regular coin. You then say, I hope I've got a pen that'll write on this. Can you just sign this coin or put your initials on this coin for me? So they make a little symbol or their initials, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Some identifying marks so that they know that this is the only coin in the world that looks exactly like this. They do, right? Now as you're talking, you retrieve your Black Ops coin. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the black side of the coin is face down in your hand. Because in a moment you're about to do a false transfer with the genuine coin that's signed to the Black Ops coin. The problem is that the moment that you do this, if you have the black side face up, it's going to look very obvious that you're using a gimmick coin, right? So they sign it, they hand you it back. You say, as you say, put the cap on the pen as you flick it across, and then you just start to rub the genuine side of the Black Ops coin, right? So as you're rubbing this now, you've got the genuine coin that's actually signed here, and they signed it with a Sharpie pen, so you know it's not coming off. It's had time to dry. You rub it like this, and then you'll notice like little black bits of skin on your finger or grime that comes off the coin. That'll happen with any coin if you rub it for a few seconds, and that'll really look like black marker pen on your finger. And as you look down, you see how the signatures come off. You've got the pen, take the cap off the pen, and then you say, just come a little bit closer for me and just sign your initials on there. And as you're saying that and you turn into them to hold it, you're holding the coin. If you're a bit more bold, you could hand them the Black Ops coin to sign. I wouldn't, because they might pick it up. But now as they're signing the same thing, just put the same signature or image or whatever on this coin. As they're doing that, what you're actually doing is dropping the coin that they've signed, which were in this hand, into their pocket. Now think about the logic here for a second. They've just watched the signature come off that coin. They're writing their signature back on the coin, so there's no way on earth now that coin could appear in their pocket when you step back and they can visually see it from 6 foot away. The coin gets dropped in as you're moving them as they sign it. Just step this way a little bit, or if you're working with a mobile phone or a camera, a great excuse is, could you just get them to step forwards a bit? Just step forwards here for me a minute. Yep, can you just sign this for me? Boom, it's signed. So now you say you've got this coin, you sign this coin. There's only one of these on the planet. Now you proceed to do a couple of effects. You're not limited to just doing one vanish with a Black Ops coin, as long as you remember to keep the signature face side up. So you could start with a shuttle vanish, whatever you wanted, a French drop, it wouldn't make a difference, tunnel vanish, back palm, whatever vanish it is that you want to apply, you can apply, as long as when you reproduce that coin, you're reproducing it so the coin's side up, right? And then what you do is, the moment that you want this to vanish for good, you use the move to get it onto your watch, so it disappears, and then you go, and it's gone, right? And as it's gone, you say to them, where do you think it is? Now you've been 6 feet away the entire time, and they're like, I don't know. Would you believe me if that coin had vanished, disappeared, travelled through the air and landed in your pocket? No, I wouldn't. Go in your pocket, and when they take it out now, they're taking out a genuine coin that can be examined, that's got their signature on the top of it. And I think that's a much more logical and much more powerful version of pocketing. And David Berglas would do that with coins that he wanted to switch in that were bent and other things like that. So if you're a mentalist and you're watching this, or you dabble with mentalism, think about how you could apply that for a coin bend in pre-show if you wanted, because it's a really, really strong idea. And now for the bonus idea. The silly, silly bonus idea that's the easiest version of pocketing you could ever imagine. And again, you have to apply this in a one-ahead style. If you're doing a card routine and there's a pack of playing cards, you say, would you believe me if I told you I could make this, and you've got the coin hidden on the back of it, if I could make this disappear, and then you put it into their pocket and go and appear in your pocket, and they'll go, no. And you say, I probably won't believe me either. And then you just put it back in. You say, but at some point I am going to do that. And now you perform a card trick. So you perform a regular card trick, but nothing about transposing a card into their pocket. But remember, it's hidden behind the card. You can flash it. You could say, I'm going to try to get it to go into your pocket. And then later on you say, you know, I said to you earlier, now when you make your coin vanish and reappear in the pocket, and you say, you know, when I said to you earlier that I was going to make something vanish and reappear in your pocket, yeah? Did I ever do that? No. Are you sure? Yeah? Check your pocket, and then they go into the pocket, and there it is. That's a very, very old idea that's very, very easy. Anytime you're loading something into somebody's pocket, that's probably the easiest way, because you're not going to get caught doing that. That's the safest method of the 3 ideas that I just shared with you, because you're pointing out that you're going near the pocket. You're pointing out that you're going to attempt to get something to go into their pocket, and they wrongly assume it's the playing card. You do your card trick, put your cards away. The cards have gone from their mind now completely, and now you're rolling into your coin magic. Now you're performing your coin magic, you're performing the Black Ops coin effect, and then boom, you sting them with a kicker on the backside of it, and there we are. And if you really wanted to do this with just 1 coin that was signed, and you could just use your Black Ops coin, make it vanish, move into your card trick, then what you could do is you could bring out another pirate coin and false sign it yourself and just casually flash the signature, just like you would the old torn and restored card effect. So there's 1,000,001 ways to put pocket, and it's really about confidence. And it's really about just going out there and doing it and knowing that you're safe in the knowledge that you're a magician. And if you're good at this sort of stuff and you get good at this sort of stuff, you could do this from a distance. There's a really, really brilliant magician that I'm not going to name because I don't know if this is released, but this guy has the best coin to pocket I've ever seen in my life. And he literally sat 3-4 feet away from me, and as he were talking, he flicked the coin, it hit me and went into my top pocket whilst he was speaking to me, and I didn't even know that he'd done it. And I'm hoping that you get to see that at some point, because it's one of the most marvelous pocketing ideas that I've ever seen. Now, I know I'm not a magician, I'm a mentalist, but I hope the tips that I shared with you really helped. Until next time, guys, take care.